What is going on, everybody, and welcome to the next episode of Hatter Reads, where we're going to be taking a look at Salvation, the original short story that is to be the basis for the upcoming novel of the same name. But I gotta tell you, while I was in the process of typing this thing up and getting reacquainted with it properly after quite a few years, I did take some creative liberties. I just couldn't help myself. So I ended up changing some of the language and sprucing up the dialogue. But the basic concepts for the narrative and the characters and how they appear remains untouched. Essentially, straight off the pages of my 9th grade notebook. So just remember that as we begin our journey through salvation. My name is Cody Collette. I'm on my way to the state penitentiary for doing one too many things wrong in life. I'm on a bus with a bunch of worthless ingrates. I feel the cold heaviness of the chains on my wrists and ankles. Instead of finding any reassurance at all, I find a lecture from the warden on how all of us on this bus are headed for hell. The bus is quiet on command. I think it's because we know we will arrive and never see the light of day again while we draw breath. Because we know the only way we'll earn our freedom is in a body bag. As we file off the bus, I hear an officer ask the warden, "What shall we do with them now, sir?" The warden replies, "Send them to my office. I wish to interrogate the fresh meat." The words "fresh meat" ring in my head as the officer carries out his order and brings us to a tiny room where we are to wait for the warden. When my turn comes, I am forced into the office, where I am to sit across from him at a table. "Why are you here?" he asks. "What's your story?" I say nothing, staring at him with a blank expression. A little more aggravated now, because of my lack of an answer, he tries again. "Why are you here, maggot?" I say nothing. Furious now, the warden screams, "Answer the question." "No" is the only word I give. The warden, now chuckling, leans back in his chair and says, "So, you're gonna make this hard, huh?" I, with a smirk on my face, nod my head. "I know just what to do with you." In a sarcastic tone, I reply, "Do you now? And what would that be?" "To beat you like the dog you really are." Still with that sarcasm in hand, I say, "So, let me get this straight. You want to beat me within an inch of my life just because I won't answer your stupid question?" He nods while I again smirk. Well, this is going to be fun. Unnerved by my apparent pleasure in the matter, the warden jumps from his seat and stomps to the door. Before he can leave, however, I call out to him, "Warden." He turns to look me in the face. "Nice talking to you." Not finding me humorous, he turns to one of the men guarding the door and whispers in their ear, "Break him." After the warden leaves, the guard approaches me, picks me up from the chair, and pushes me out the door. We enter a room where a big black man stands, whip in hand. Realizing what's coming, I try to fight back, but the guard behind me kicks my knees out from under me, so I fall to the floor. The big man in front of me kneels to my level and whispers, "Let's see what kind of a man you are." With that, he rises to his feet and commands the 2 guards in the room, saying, "Take off his shirt and hold him." They do so, turning me to the wall opposite my attacker. Although I can't see them, I hear the dagger edges of the whip scraping the ground as they lift into the air with the intent of punishing my arrogance. Trying to prepare myself for the coming pain is easier said than done, as I have no choice but to bear it. The room gets quiet as the first strike hits me. The pain is so immense I can't even scream. Instead, I am able to suppress it, and it comes out as an agonizing grunt. I am hit repeatedly until I'm physically unable to hold myself up. The guards holding me to my knees lose their grip. As the guards holding me to my knees lose their grip, I fall to the ground, a bloody, mangled mess of flesh and bone. Writhing in pain on the floor, the man stands over my lifeless body, ready to strike me again. As he lifts the whip over his head, the warden's voice echoes across the room. "Stop!" My attacker puts down his weapon and turns to watch him stride in. "We want to break him, not kill him," he says. "The noose will do that." He looks down at me, then up at one of the guards, telling him, "Get my branding iron." When it's retrieved, he looks at me again while stepping on my neck to keep me in place. As the iron burns the penitentiary sigil into the base of my skull, I'm tempted to yell, but refuse, as it would be seen as a sign of weakness and give the warden satisfaction. He makes his mark and kneels beside me, whispering, "You're mine now, Maggot." At this point, I'm ready to smash his face in, but I can barely manage to lift my own head. Seeing my efforts, the warden snaps at the guards, "Take him to his cell." Because I'm too weak to walk, I'm dragged there, to what I'll know is my final home before I hang. The next day, I lay in my cell when a handful of officers appear with a woman in nurse's scrubs. "Get up," one of them orders. "You have a visitor." From the corner of my enclosure, I ask, "Why is she here?" You are to hang tomorrow." "She bathes the condemned." I reply, "What authority do you have to say whether I die today, tomorrow, or a week from now?" The officer says, "You have the mark of the condemned." "What?" "On your neck. That sigil means death. Come dawn, you will pay for your crimes, but first you must be cleaned." If I refuse, not an option. It's custom that the dead be washed. With that, I rise to my feet while the woman is let in. Facing the wall, I remove my shirt, revealing the lacerations on my back. I say nothing at first, feeling the tenderness of the nurse's touch on my raw wounds. After some time sitting in silence, I gather the courage to ask, "How can you do this?" "What?" she responded in shock. "How can you so easily wash a man, knowing he's destined for the noose?" She answers me emotionlessly, "Because we all have our penances. Yours will be facing that noose tomorrow, and mine is making sure you look presentable dangling from it." She leaves without speaking another word, and I begin to search myself within the darkness of my cage. I start to realize everything I'll miss out on: a woman's touch, the joy a newborn child brings, the true sense of belonging. Now, for the first time, I'm broken. I start crying, not because I'll be gone by this hour tomorrow, but because I've finally come to terms with what I've done. I took a young man's life. Though he didn't deserve to die. The weight of my burden suddenly is too much to shoulder. I drop to my knees and whimper this prayer. I doubt you'll forgive me. I don't deserve it. You give and you take away. You've given him paradise in exchange for my life, my damnation. So be it. Your justice will soon be served. I only ask that you make my descent into hell swift and blissful while it can be. I pray that you take that man in your hand and walk with him. Show him peace, while this wicked soul I am knows no rest whatsoever. It is finished. Amen. The following day, I'm woken by a man holding a Bible. Who are you? He responds, I'm the row pastor. I'm here to bring you to God before the end. I don't want you here. Unwavering, from outside my cell, he continues asking his questions. With the footsteps of guards coming to claim me echoing in my ear, I'm asked, do you believe there is a God? The door to my cell is unlocked, and as it slides open, I offer my thought. No. They remove me from my cell and start down the hall. The row pastor catches me with follow-up question. Do you believe in the eternal home that awaits you beyond this world? The officer leading me urges me forward, but I stay to deliver this statement. No, for my crimes, heaven no longer opens its gates to me. The pastor, shocked and saddened by my remark, puts a hand on my shoulder, then says, He forgives, my son. I follow the guard's direction, letting loose a subtle chuckle, and he will spare a better man than I. My last walk down the hall seems never-ending, and rightfully so. I march, looking at all the prisoners about to likewise suffer. Their faces distinctly lacking the same acceptance I carry to my fate. The guard opens the exit, taking me outside, where I'm exposed to a slight breeze in the warmth of the sun. I spot the warden waiting for me on the gallows. Reaching him, he places the hood over my head, the noose around my neck, and addresses the spectating crowd. Show no mercy to this man, lest you steal what belongs to the innocent. I lower my gaze in agreement with him. I hear the row pastor somewhere in the mob reciting the Lord's Prayer. I inhale deeply, my final breath, and I close my eyes as the warden pulls the lever. The ground falls away. My body quickly goes numb. It's over. Another life wasted. The end. So there we have it, guys. The quick and simple but altogether humble origins that I hope salvation will grow from. And with this out of the way, the next step in the list of things for me to do is just start writing. So that is definitely what I am looking forward to jumping into very, very soon. I think I might take the next few days to just really process things, make sure that my ducks are all in a row before I officially get started. But that's the idea. So if you're at all interested, definitely keep an eye out for updates and more information on that as the writing process and the creative stuff starts to flow. And until then, we'll see you next time. Take care.